You know, Philip is one of the most interesting and one of my beloved characters in the New Testament. He's willing to go anywhere and do anything that the Lord tells him to do. He's so enthusiastic about what the influence that Jesus has had in his life that he's just wherever you want me to go, I'll go. And so in Acts chapter 8, we have this story about Philip being told by the angel of the Lord, well, on the road to Gaza, I want you to go down there and just walk. So he does exactly what he's told. And as he's walking, there's an Ethiopian eunuch who's come up to worship the Lord for one of the feasts, and he's on his way home. And as he's riding along in his chariot, he's reading Isaiah. And the Lord brings Philip alongside of him exactly when he's in Isaiah 53. And he's reading the verses where he said he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and as a lamb before its shearers was silent, so he opened not his mouth. And in his humiliation his justice was taken away. And who will declare his generation? For his life was taken from the earth. In this prophecy about the Messiah and about the Messiah's suffering, the Ethiopian eunuch has no idea what he's even reading. So he asks Philip to come alongside and sit with him and explain the scriptures. And as they go along, and as Philip opens up and explains how the prophets foretold about a suffering Messiah who was supposed to die for the sins of the people, they come along a spring. Now the springs in Israel are not very often. You don't have a lot of spring water. So as they are on the road towards Gaza, he says, well, what keeps me from being baptized? And here's a Gentile who would be considered distant from the community of faith, which was basically the Jewish people at that time. This is before Cornelius and before things opened up to the Gentiles. So Philip is already ahead of the curve on this. And Philip says, there's nothing keeping you. And he takes him right down into the water, baptizes him, and then Philip is taken away and placed somewhere else, and he just keeps going where he's going. But you know, one of the messages out of this story is that even if you feel like within the life that you're living, you're distant, you're far away, but you're still seeking, God brings people alongside us that can say, you know, this scripture talks exactly about this, and this is the path that God has chosen for your salvation. And those kinds of people, whether you can be a Philip to someone else, or you may need a Philip-type person to come alongside you, but God works all these things in a way to bring us all to the revelation of who He is, what He's done for us, and how a simple spring of water on the path that we find ourselves on, even if it's an arid area, can turn into the source of hope and salvation for us all.